Just to remind you all, the sign-ups for the next week's Sea Duckling Open, the number 33, are already up. Links are in chat. If you're between the leagues of bronze and or diamond, go ahead and give it a sign-up. Okay. Let's see if everyone's ready. Everyone's ready. We should go right in. Doop, ba-doop, ba-doop. Alrighty. Welcome everyone, once again to Dreamcatcher. LE. LE of course stands for Long Equation. Long Equation. That's these god-awful equations sponsored by water. That's this god-awful equation you get in physics class when you're like, this is too much. I don't wanna. In Southeast, currently sponsored by water. Our blue Terran from Psionic Aftermath. It is the savior of esports, Daunted. And in the northwest, our... So... Why is he Zerg all of a sudden? When did this... I didn't notice this switch. Is our Zerg player from Inside Gaming. In the pink, it is Ruichi. Right. Now remember, switching races is allowed in the tournament as long as it continues throughout the series. At the beginning of a series, you can choose a race, and then and you have to stick to it for the entire series. Yeah. So now he's picking Zerg. Looking for proxies, you know. Terran proxies, very frightening things for a Zerg, especially a greedy Zerg. No, okay, get the pool first. What am I talking about? Yeah. Now that getting a Reaper out of the map, I'm gonna go ahead and poke at Rich's base. He's only got 4 Zerglings out. For the Swarm. Force. And with the Queen on the way, I shouldn't get much done. Oh, I'm gonna get a nice save here with the Extractor. But this does delay the third hatchery by quite a few precious seconds. And also gets Rich's to kind of waste attention and some cash on rebuilding and remaking these extractors all the time. And he's going to pull the drone back. Not usually you see a cancel on the extractor and immediately another extractor coming up. Try and keep the drone in this location. And Donut pulling back the Reaper. Richie getting... No, I decided to get the hatchery somewhere else instead. Now this base is a little more vulnerable than the one of the upper corner, but still it's not too bad for a Zerg. Once you connect it with the creep, it's gonna be fine. Especially if you intend to be moving out of the map, which is what you should be doing as a Zerg. Being active with your ground army and your creep spread. Not walling off the natural, activating the wall of in time, but shouldn't do too much. There's aliens around. Oh, they're getting a probe. The Terran probe. 2 of them actually. Yeah, that was way more workers than Ruchi was expected to get. especially against 4 Hellions. It's a bit of a... maybe a bit of inattention by Daunted. And good focus by Ruichi, going after the SCVs. Okay, but we gotta be careful here. Don't want to line up for the Hellions. They can wipe out this entire clump of Zerglings in one volley if they get lucky. Or are well aimed. That's the word I was looking for. Fire. Nice use of the grenades by the Reaper to delay the Zerglings and not allow them to surround the Hellions. And actually, Daunted is going to lose a lot of his Hellions here. Probably all of them. There we go. So this attack gets shut down. Which it does pay a price with a lot of Zerglings, but they're pretty cheap units to replace. In the meantime, Daunted going for a Cloak Banshee. Probably a double Banshee. No, yep. No, actually it wasn't. Did he get? Yes. Sorry, I didn't notice they already made one. I was way behind. There's some detection here already, but this Banshee could actually kill the Queen and there's no anti-air. Oh, he decloaks! He's going to lose the Banshee. Ah! Cloaks in the nick of time. It is about to run out of energy, so we gotta be careful. We're gonna wait for the second Banshee. Now the 2 Banshees can do a lot of damage. Oh, it runs out of energy. Oh boy. It's a bit of an uncareful use. And thing about Banshees, if they don't do damage, they're not good for much else. At least not in these numbers. And Ruichi manages to get to a 4th base without any problem really. He's lost a couple of queens. Oh, just 1 queen. And Daunted sacrificed 2 Cloak Banshees for basically a queen and a few creep tumors. So that was not a very good trade, but again, it does keep Ruichi on the other side of the map, and Daunted setting up his 3-1-1 production, a double NG Bay, and his Bioforce is about to be really, really damn strong. He's got Stim, he's getting Combat Shield, 1-1, like I said, is halfway done. What? No medivacs. Daunted! You mad lad! What are you doing? Get medivacs! He's getting 1 of them. There's a reactor starport. Ah, this may be very bad for Daunted. I mean, you could get some lucky hits with the Widow Mines, but the Marines are going to be so not effective. They're already out of steam. Oh! Those Marines died by the Widow Mines. What? 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 That was... And that's why you want medivacs with your forces, so that they get more health. You can you can pick them up. They're more mobile, and you gotta be careful around your own Widow Mines. It's a dangerous tale. And Reggie just has a big army now. He's Link Bane Hydra. He's going to get Baning Speed is just about to hit. His good creep spread. Daunted is going to find it very difficult to get in on this Is Medivac going to try and fly into the natural? It's already being damaged. It's gonna die. Only one Marine got out of there. Oh boy. It does get to see the Ruchi's Spire, but oh boy, is he not prepared. This is just Marines and Widow Mines. He's getting an extra factory, so he might be trying to take up some more, or maybe he's just going to double down on triple down or quadruple down on Widow Mine production. Again, there's a lot of friendly fire from the Widow Mines, so you gotta be careful with that. Most of them get shot down. It picks them up with a Medivac, so they do get saved, but they didn't actually kill all that much. Ruchi with great control, baiting their shots. And I think Ruchi just has way too much for Daunted to deal with. He's got no tanks, and without a tank backup, there's really not enough area of effect damage. Ruchi can just bait these Widow Mine shots one by one, and eventually he'll just roll over these Marines. There's some good splits by Daunted. Oh, Widow Mine is actually killing more Marines than Zerglings. And yeah, he's going to have to sack the third base. He's already getting a fourth, but yeah, that's in danger. If Ruchi actually chases these workers, he's going to see it as well. Oh. Okay, this one Hydra is going to have a buffet of workers. Look at that, one-shotting. Let's see if he's... Oh boy. Yeah. This should be it for Daunted. There's no way he can come back from this. Even though he keeps his bases, Ruchi just has way too much, and he's trading so fantastically well against anything that Daunted throws at him. Tube 2 is finished for Daunted, and he's getting +1 vehicle weapons, but still no tanks. He's getting ghosts. I don't think the ghosts are going to be particularly useful in this composition. It needs a lot of area of effect units, and the Widow Mines they're just too random to control. And Ruchi just, once he's aware that they're there, he constantly baits shots. Doesn't let the army take those Widow Mine shots that are so deadly to the Zerglings. And I just don't think Daunted can really come back from this. The Mutalist harassment here, really quality. Was that an EMP from one of the ghosts? I think one of the ghosts threw down an EMP, which is not really helpful against Mutalisks. The Mutalisks do get cleared out, but yeah, Broicho wasn't building a number of them. They're actually a drain on his supply. It would have been nice if they did some more harassment damage, but yeah, really, they keep Daunted on 48 workers while Ruchi is up on almost 80. So they did their job. They don't need to still be around. Ruchi should just be able to roll over this. He's getting some Vipers, which are going to be helpful. Finally, some tanks from Daunted, but it's just too little, too late. Way too late. Especially once Daunted brings those Vipers in, they can just yank the tanks away. See the effect that one tank has on the Zerg army. But yeah, still, nice harassment here at the back, but not enough. Daunted is down to 28 workers. Ruchi still has 72. There's excellent creep spread all over the map. He's up to his 5th base. Daunted is on 3 bases. The natural is half mined out. The main is almost entirely mined out. Liberator. Okay, the Liberators might be helpful if Daunted managed to get some in time, because this map has a lot of chokes and walls and stuff you can abuse the siege positions with. Okay, Ruchi sacrifices the Vipers to get on the tanks, and I think that may have been a bit of an overextension. This Terran bio is still pretty scary. It's about to get +3 infantry armor. Sweet that Daunted opted for armor over weapons, but still it's going to be very effective. The ghosts are already countering the Mutalisks, so those shouldn't be able to really break Daunted here. But there's a lot of Zerglings and Hydralisks. There we go, GG. It was a very uphill struggle for Daunted. It was behind for a very long time. So that was rough. And, a good show by Ruchi. Okay, so next map will be Catalyst. I'm going to go for another standard map. This is why we have to have Redshift on the bracket. Otherwise, no one picks it. Unless they want to show off. Unless it's just show match. No, in fact. Okay. So next map will be Catalyst. That is Daunted's selection. Daunted's peak. Great show of support by the Psionic Aftermaths. Psionic Aftermaths says, what's the plural of Psionic Aftermath members? Psionixers? Psionixi? Psionic-y? I don't know. Welcome everyone, once again, to Catalyst. LE. LE, of course, stands for Liftoff Emergency. Liftoff Emergency. That's when, you know, your command center is surrounded by Zerglings and you, you know, to save the command center. Speaking of things that make sense, in the northwest, our pink Zerg, currently up 1 in this best of 3, and reigning SDO champion, Ruichi! From Inside Gaming, by the way. And in the southeast, Psionic Aftermath's own esports savior of the day, our blue Terran. It is Daunted! Yep. You see an annoying drone from Ruichi. I was hoping to see some gas still, but no. Just a mineral still. Alright, so both of them opening dam started. Ruichi this time taking a hatchery first, not a e-pool. On this long standard map. The standardest of all the standard maps. That is Catalyst. Catalyst. This is on Catalyst. And also near Catalyst. And exactly where Catalyst is on Catalyst. What is this? Oh, he's just coming back for a second scout. Ripper might catch it? No. No time to waste on... Oh, yeah, does have time to waste. Bamboozled. You thought I wouldn't catch you, silly drone. Okay, so Ripper already has a kill on his belt. See a reactor to barracks. I didn't notice it before. Daunted opened with a 1-1 or 2-1-1, but when he got the second barracks, but this time maybe Daunted will go for some more tank play early on. And this time try not to be too fancy with the Widow Mines, because you know, The Widow Mines are really good, but in big numbers in the main army, they're so precarious. They can be so devastating. Usually, what you want to do is have a few of them and send them ahead of the army just to bait shots, bait focus fires from the opponent. Give yourself your own units a bit of a tempo advantage when going into the fight. Because if you want to rely on their explosive ability in a fight, it's very haphazard. Yeah, a tank does so much better. It's like, yeah, you know. First of all, it can shoot more than once, so that's already a big advantage. Yeah, I know it's more annoying to control them. But you have to siege Widow Mines anyway, so it's not, in terms of control, it's not all that big of a difference. Widow Mines are much more effective defensively, you know, hiding them here and there, dropping them on mineral lines. Yeah, you know, dropping one here or there on the map, where the only one who can trigger them is your enemy, and it's not a lot of likelihood for them to also get shot on your own units. Okay, we see a bit of a building shuffling here. Dotted going for a 3-1-1. This time getting the starport. Yeah, it's this time he got a couple of tanks, then switched the factory over to the reactor, just to build it probably for the starport, and hopefully. And this time he will have some medivacs early on, because he was in a really good position, army-wise, in the previous game. He just didn't have any medivacs or tanks. He had Marines and a lot of Widow Mines. If you could exchange 4 of those Widow Mines and get a couple of medivacs instead, you would have that game would have looked much different. So now he's playing way more standard. Also getting a command center already. Thing is, he's not doing any damage across the map. He skipped the Hellion harassment. The Ripper didn't get much done either. It's actually dead. And Ruchi basically gets to macro Ezazurg on 3 bases to his heart's content. You know, get a lair, start his upgrades, get more drones. He's droning up way faster than Dontet can keep up with. And now Dontet really has to start pushing out. This is the last chance to do damage before Ruichi becomes unstoppable. There's 2 tanks and Marines, but only 1 medivac, which is quite dangerous. Would like to see another medivac with this force, because yeah, it gives you the ability to just back up and leave if you encounter something too dangerous, if you find yourself in a disadvantageous position, which he might find himself now. There's some banelings. Baneling speed is far away from being finished, but they are on creep, and there's a lot of Zerglings to surround the Marines. If you manage to get a surround and bring the banelings into play, that's going to be dangerous. Some of these Marines don't get healed up because of the medivacs are so far behind. We have a flank from Ruichi coming in. Dontet not suspecting that. He's going to try and drop with this medivac. We're trying to get up the ramp. He doesn't know about the flank on the side. Oh boy, he's going to catch the reinforcements and jump on the main army from 3 different sides. And this is a complete cleanup of everything Dontet had here, except the medivacs. This is a beautiful maneuver by Ruichi. Very patiently waiting for to have distinct advantage moving his units around. Not that he's trying to get some damage on this base, but there's already way too much waiting. Does get 3 drone kills, but that would not be enough. Richie is now on 4 hatcheries, can drone up as much as he wants, and is chasing away, running away with the worker count, away from Daunted, that is. Daunted getting more barracks in, an extra factory. It's a good thing he has those 3 bases set up, because it's gonna need a strong economy to keep up with that production, and to feed the beast of the Terran production facilities. I'm gonna try and drop probably on this 4th base. So, he's going for the main. Looks like it. Or maybe he sees this base and decides to drop at the back of it. No, he's headstrong with going into the main base. Gotta drop the Marines at some point. Okay, gotta lose 1 medivac. Which is a bit of a shame, because now he's going to find it difficult to back up. He's in a great position with these minerals blocking the Zerglings from surrounding the Marines. He might actually get a snipe on this lair before it's finished. There we go. Yeah, backs up with what he has left and moves on to the natural up. Okay. Medivac does get sniped. And Richie immediately starts another lair. Actually, that was a hive morphing, not a lair. It was a lair. It was morphing into a hive. That was a good snipe. It keeps the Zerg from taking up. Yeah, and some great worker kills here. That was 16 worker kills. Hold on. I just remembered to drink water. You gotta keep your Hydras hydrated. See, these Hydras were not hydrated. And so Dr. did say he's sponsored by water. He went and hydrated the Hydras. Right. And Dr. is going ghosts again. And this time I think they'll be much more effective. Because he already has some tank production, he's not relying on them as the big beefy Terran support unit, and he might just be able to snipe this 4th base. I don't remember which one it was. It's now it's 1 out of 3 bases. It's actually Richie getting a couple of macro hatcheries. That was a bit of a weird move by Zerg, usually macro hatcheries, but but it can definitely win you a game if you make use of it. The Banings go and Wisdom says on the tanks. There's a lot of Marines left here. This could be enough for Daunted to keep on pushing. There's lots of medivacs to heal these Marines. Good starter step, pulling some Marines back, and this might be of an overextension though. There's no extra stream here. It's backing up and living, but some of these medivacs will get sniped. Daunted not getting the damage he was hoping for. The Zerg player did not break. He did lose a lot of army. But that's not the economical damage Daunted wanted. And now Ruchi has these 3 hatcheries. He's going to have a ton of extra larvae. It's going to be quite a lot of bombardment to clear that base. It's considered, macro hatcheries in StarCraft 2 are considered a bit of an inelegant, or not elegant, not economical. I want to say kind of wasteful, but they still do the work. They definitely still do the work. They have their advantages. This base should get denied. But Richie already getting a fourth base, a different fourth base. And see, even if Daunted sieges up this location, Richie could just move out in here. It'll take a while to clear up these hatcheries. And this is just buying time for Richie to get more forces here. One Baneling can clear this all out. And yeah, now he's descending upon this army, bringing a flank from the other side. Some good transfuses by those queens. Look at it. Baneling's just chasing the... good focus fire there. Okay, some queens may get snapped. Nope. They managed to get on clipping time. And Daunted so far not being able to break this position. But now Richie is out of Banelings. He's morphing some of them. There we go. They're about to go into the fight. They actually get to the Marines though. Oh, that's a nice connection there. And Daunted is pushed back yet again. He got one of the macro hatcheries, but yeah, this base is still operating fantastically. This base is set up. This base did not get... Okay, I think it got sniped and Ruchi just rebuilt it. So yeah, so now he's a Zerg on many bases. Doesn't even need the main base anymore. Dutton is going to try and push here again to see if he can break this position. And he still has the bigger army supply. But still, in none of these attacks does he manage to actually get the final blow. Even though he's, in terms of numbers, he's trading better. Yeah, this is all these Marines is bad. Even though he's trading better when it comes to numbers, he just cannot break Kuruchi. He snipes the new base here in the northeast, but this position is still unbroken. The thing is, if Ruchi doesn't... Wait, did he? Oh, he lost the pool in the main. And he didn't rebuild it? Until now? It's a bit odd, I didn't notice that. Yeah, Daunted going for... he's got +3 weapons. He's getting the +3 armor now. There aren't any more upgrades for Ruchi. He's kind of struggling. But if... no, he's going to Lorcas. If he gets Lorcas, this position will never be broken. Not with what Daunted has. I don't think. Daunted is expanding while this is going on. He does have a good economy going. So, even though he does manage to break Ruchi, he's still in a pretty good position. He's got really great upgrades. He's getting more of them. Even getting some building armor. A much underappreciated upgrade for Terran. It's going to be helpful with those planetary fortress, Fortress EI. And remember, this is all done on Marine and Tank, and some Marauders. This is, in terms of tech, this is not very high tech for a Terran. He's starting to get some more ghosts. So far, the ghosts haven't really been all that useful. But if Ruchi goes for some more heavier units, those ghosts will be able to snipe them out really easily. A link run by here. We're going to get some workers. These aren't the main mining bases, so this isn't the end of the world for Daunted. One tank is going to push it away. There's a 9 SCV kills so far. It's going to get a few more. Daunted not really moving into defend this. He's actually pushing ahead. Is he bringing any units? Not bringing any units. Okay, sieging up on the ramp. This time there's a lot of tanks here. Ruchi really shouldn't be surrounding this. This is way too dangerous. Some snipes from the ghosts are helping out, taking out the queens, taking out those corruptors, and it looks like Daunted finally managed to break this position. And exactly that, which doesn't have a bank to rebuild this army. Has to wait for some more minerals to come in. Again, attacking the base in the northeast. This one is unmolested so far, though. Yeah, now Dot is finally going to clear out this position. As this game is getting into the 19-minute mark, which is still up in workers, but is not mining as much because a lot of his workers are stuck here, huddling in the corner, hoping not to be noticed by the scary Terran army. And now Ruchi is down to 3 bases. The natural is completely mined out. There's just some gas here. The third base location is almost mined out as well. Ruchi is down to 1 mining base, and Dotad is already sieging that up. There's not much Ruchi can really do about it. He's trying to flank from the side with an offensive spore caller, but yeah. Daunted, evening up the score, sideways 1-1. Right. Okay. So let's see what the next map is going to be. This is Ruichi's Peak. In the meantime, while this was happening, Space Marine SC 1-2-1 against Phoenix, otherwise known as Phoenix, not the other Phoenix. And he's already waiting in the semi-final. Remember, Space Marine was the contender for last week's tournament and vowed revenge on Ruichi. Let's see if Daunted will allow Ruichi to even get there. Maybe he's going to deny revenge from Space Marine. Let's see. How does that work? If you deny someone's revenge, does that mean that now you owe them revenge? I'm not up on how revenge works. Right. So the next map will be Acid Plant. There's a surprise for you. Right. Alright everyone, welcome back to Acid Plant, LE. LE of course stands for less episodes. That's when you watch a television show and it has, you know, they kind of stretch out the plot and the character development because they need to produce too many episodes, and you're like, come on, you just cut off some of these, make less episodes and make the shows just much better. And speaking of things that are much better, in the Northwest, our Pink Zerg from Inside Gaming, currently sideways 1-1 in the series and defending champion for the SDO. It is Ruichi. And in the southeast, Psionic Aftermath's own esports savior of the day, also currently sideways 1-1 in this best of 3. Our blue Terran, Daunted. Alright, so we see a standard opening from both of them again. Again, Acid Plant is pretty much now a standard map. It used to be. Remember back in the day when Acid Land was a weird map that people didn't want to play on. I remember. It was in the way back when, of 2 months ago. Or something like that. Yeah, we do have an SCV scout. Nothing too shenanigans going on just yet. Let's just follow the Reaper while I drink some water. Make sure my throat doesn't dry out. When you're solo casting, you're constantly babbling. And you don't have those pauses where you can just, someone else is talking and you can just, okay, I can get a sip of water right now. So I'll let the Reaper do the talking here. While I hydrate my hydras. Okay, so far it doesn't manage to get any kills. Might get this drone. Right, Richard pulling it back. So it does get a delay on the third hatchery, but Richard will take it over on the other side. Reaper is a little too late to try and deny that, but still it puts our wrench in Richard's plans. This is what Daunted wanted. Daunted wanted. Get it? It's a rhyme. I don't know why it does the rhyme, but it does. Now, this preemptive bunker, it's not really necessary at the moment. It doesn't look like Ruchi is planning anything too aggressive just yet. But again, those are salvageable, so, you know, why not invest some time into it? Be safe. Lift and bunker. That is the story of Bert the Terran. Revenge is gonna happen. If it's TVT, I'm gonna be very sad. Yes, Space Marine. Okay, now the aggression comes from Richie with the Zergling speed. Wall isn't finished for Daunted, so good thing you invested in that bunker. Tank is halfway finished. Once that comes out and sits on the high ground, it should be easy to hold off anything Ruchi is sending. The wall is a little bit precarious. There's not enough wall. There's barely enough wall. And now he's realizing it's a little too late. Oh, yep. Oh, tank is going all the way to the low ground. It's going to miss a few shots. Zerglings do get in, but there's enough to clean it out. I don't think... Alright, one SCV died in the outside here, and yeah, that was clutch timing from Daunted with the tank. Yeah, okay, Steam has started. Medivacs starting out. Yeah, Daunted doesn't want to get caught out without any medivacs. They are essential. Now Ruchi sacrificed 26 Zerglings for that attack, which did not pan out. But, again, Zerglings, sacrificable creatures. Going to get a lair, so he's definitely using his time to tech up. Maybe even get a fourth base since he's not being harassed in any way. But yeah, he needs to get ready for the push by the Terran. Again, Daunted is pushing out with one medivac, which I think is quite precarious. It's always frightening to see a Terran army move out with medivacs, and there aren't enough medivacs to pick up everything. No, Ruchi, does he have any? It doesn't have any banelings ready. You can make them quickly enough, I think. Okay, so Stem is about to be finished. Will. Alright, he's a bit exposing himself a little bit here with the medivac. Still no banelings being made by Ruchi. That's gonna be dangerous. You won't have banelings to deal with these Marines. Okay, now it makes them. Donut has some tanks. If he's very careful, he shouldn't be taking damage from this. He should be able to keep this attack going. Nice position, threatening the hatchery. This will have to be sacked. Yeah, Ruchi realizes in his losing position here. Doesn't want to sacrifice all of his units for nothing. Great positioning of the tanks. And Ruchi is being pushed back. He's got the a big worker advantage, but no bases to mine on with that advantage. He's going to get one hatchery. Oh, he had to kill the cryptomore here. It was blocking his hatchery location. So yeah, it looks like Daunted is in a very good position here. No. Moves the tank a little too alone. Ruchi using those Mutalisks that I didn't even notice he was making. And yeah, he cleans Daunted up. This is very dangerous. A lot of Daunted's forces are separated from one another. Okay, now he's bringing them together. This could be very dangerous for these Mutalisks. But here's the thing. Daunted lost most of his army, but he denied Ruchi the third expansion for a long time. Look at that, 8 minutes. The Zerg on 2 bases is not a happy Zerg. Especially when he didn't really do any damage on the other side of the map. Daunted is just... Look at this. It's like 6 barracks going up. Is going to just pump out Marines. Doesn't even leave any room for add-ons. It's just gonna produce and produce and produce. Turrets are a little bit late to the party here, and they these Mutalisks do get to do some water damage here. It does lose a few of them. Well, actually only one, I think. So this is good for Ruchi, but I think still will have a lot. Oh, bad positioning. The bendings kill everything. Oh boy, the tanks were unsaged. The Marines weren't pre-split. Now the Mutalisks are chasing the Medivacs, and they're going to kill everything, including the tank. Oh boy, this looks very bad for Daunted. He is out of army. This magnificent production machine that he's built here will not be able to build things in time if Ruchi... Unless Ruchi gives him the time. It's a bit of a throw with his SCVs. I don't know where they were moving over there. Thought he's trying to take a 4th base. He barely has enough workers for 2 bases. This is gonna be so dangerous. And look at that, Ruchi is just about to drop on this this production. And once he breaks this, there you go, gets the tank out of the way. Now the ground forces can just roll into this, and this production will not be able to produce, to build enough of an army. Okay, Daunted is trying to set up the base over here. Ruchi is actually giving Daunted a lot of time. This could be a huge mistake for Ruchi. Because look at that, Daunted is making 8 Marines at a time. That is about every 10 seconds. That's 6 more Marines, 8 more Marines. It's insane. No, it's 12 actually in time. Yeah, Ruchi is giving Daunted too much time. Now if he jumps on it now, he can still make it. He's going to send the Mutalisks from this side, the Zerglings from the other side. That force gets delayed by some Marines, so it's not going to get any damage here. There's too many Marines for that. The screeches that Zerglings make when they die, just Okay. So Daunted gets to rebuild a lot of his army. Ruchi still has the big warfare advantage, but again, he had to rebuild his bases. He couldn't really make use of all that that rollover that he had. Now there are a lot of turrets in here. There's not a lot of warfare kills to be anyway, and these mutalisks aren't doing as well as he'd have hoped. Oh, great splits by Daunted. But will it be enough? There are no medivacs to back this army up. These marines are very low on health, no tanks. The mutalisks are actually breaking everything at the back here. There's just too many of them. 19 workers killed for Daunted. Still has working bases, he still has mules, but his army constantly gets reset, and it doesn't have the army to just chase these mutalisks and defend his other bases. And Ruchi is just about to move on it. This should be rolled over in a second. Mutalisks coming in, trying to get worker kills. Not even focusing the turret, just getting worker kills. Keeping Daunted from getting back on his feet. Ruchi bringing swarm hosts in. That's a great addition. Now look at the resources lost situation. They're pretty equal at the moment. it's kind of odd. Yeah, but these locusts should really be helpful in getting Ruchi to trade damage for free. And Daunted just doesn't have enough. Now, despite his great production, he doesn't have the economy to feed it. He's not able to just make marines as much as he can. Oh, full medivac gets sniped. This planetary fortress seems to be holding so far. But Ruchi just has such a huge army advantage in terms of numbers. Upgrades are a little delayed. You're getting a Nidus. I like that. Daunted is never going to be mobile enough to handle swarm hosts in a Nidus. And now he's just moving everything into this army and this base. Everything gets cleaned out for Daunted. He's got nothing anymore. There's this last few marines, which he just doesn't want to get. Why? No, attack with these. You don't need to retreat with them. Yeah, and Richie is just going to use these swarm hosts, put them in a Nidus, move them out across the map, clean out Daunted's last base, and I think that's going to be it. No, not even going to do that. Just going to take out the army with lings and locusts. Yeah. Daunted trying to take the fourth base again. His bases are mined out. Actually, oh, he's floating the main base. That's what he was doing. Oh, medivac gets another full medivac gets sniped. Whew. Daunted is really sticking into this game, but I just don't see how he can ever win this. Ruchi has all of his bases rebuilt. There comes Nidus. It's not even going to be swarm hosts. He's just going to move the entire army there. No? Yes? No? No? This is going to be a... Is this a fake Nidus? I think that might just be a fake Nidus. Yeah, he's drawing the army there, but... Okay, he's getting a Nidus here to reinforce this base, or just make sure this base is difficult to take. Dalton had to lift up his entire production, which wasn't really producing much anyway. It just doesn't have the economy for this. Yeah, Ruchi dumping all these banelings on the Marines. Oh, they all died to banelings. There we go. Whew. With a hard-fought battle by Ruchi, manages to claw out a victory. Whew, remember, he was down into 2 bases there. At 8 minutes. Dalton just not quite managing to get the ending blow there. That was a rough one. So yeah, Ruchi winning 2-1. And we'll go up in the semi-final versus Space Marine, which is a rematch from yesteryear, from last week's Sea Duckling Open. Now Daunted isn't eliminated just yet. He's going to duke it out with Skaturiket over in the lower bracket. I think we should take a short break for a few minutes. Welcome back, everyone. We are back. I hope you enjoyed the clips. It's always a lot of fun. We are setting up for the rematch between Ruchi and Space Marine. Yes, our first map will be Asset Plan. That's the map on the players already. We are ready. Ruchi is going to play Zerg. Space Marine is Terran. That's the one they played last week, I think. Yes, Ruchi was playing as a Zerg. And yeah, so this is definitely a rematch from last week's tournament. Space Marine was the contender. As a reminder, Ruchi won that series 3-0. That was a best of 5. We won it 3-0. Let's see if we can repeat the feat today. Should probably get the day. All right, everyone. Welcome to Acid Plant LE. LE, of course, stands for liking engines. Liking engines. That's what you know. You have some technical skills and stuff, and you really like engines. I like engines. Sometimes I just read about them. Just, because I like engines. I'm not weird. Speaking of not weird, in the southeast of Acid Plant, from Inside Gaming, our pink Zerg, it is Ruichi. You killed my run. Prepare to die. That is a Princess Bride reference for all you young guns in the audience. And in the northwest, from Beastie Boys, as a Beastie Cutie Club, the Orange Terran, the contender from last week's Sea Duckling Open tournament and nemesis to Ruichi. It is Space Marine. Yeah, Ruichi getting a drone scout. Space Marine sending his own SCV Union Inspector to see what's what in this non-union workers organization here. Yeah, hello. This is a non-union site. You are hereby ordered to cease operations. Okay. So nothing too shenanigans just yet. Both of them opening standardly-ish. Reaper, what's the Reaper? Reaper came out for Space Marine. You just follow that. No, my memory is kind of bad, so I don't remember how the games last week went. Oh, nice body block, yes. Space Marine body blocking the extractor, the geyser, so no extractor can come out of it. Also, annoying the other base location to delay Richie's base for a while, forcing him to escort the drone so he can get his third hatchery up and running. That's some good bit of harassment by Space Marine early in the game. That delayed the hatchery by a good 20 seconds. Yeah, I think Richie is getting 6 more Zerglings. That is amounting to a stupid amount of Zerglings. Anything above 8 is a stupid amount, which could only mean that you are about to be aggressive out of the map. Speed is ready, and Space Marine not getting the safety bunker. The factory is reactored. There won't be a tank to defend here. There's no wall. If Ruichi controls it well, and Space Marine doesn't, this could go very well for Ruichi. Though he's giving Space Marine a little bit too much time, maybe. He's waiting for the bending nest to finish, so he can bust this up. I think that was a bit of an unnecessary investment in all of these Zerglings at this moment, but yeah, so he's not going to attack. He just spreads Zerglings all over the place. Try and see what Space Marine is up to, where is he going, or when he's moving out. He's getting more queens at home, a few more Zerglings. He's getting a lair. You see no switch to any kind of other Zerg tech. He's going to maybe go straight to Mutalisks. He's not even getting any Banelings just yet. He's probably going to get Baneling speed once this lair is finished. These two Medivacs, they might catch Richie off guard. You should see them coming. He has pretty good vision spread out on the map. Actually, Space Marine is dodging the entire vision range of Ruichi. He's dropping here. Ruichi already set up to surround this force. It's going to be very dangerous. But the Banelings aren't ready yet. The good starter step, and a lot of these Zerglings are dead. And he gets to chew on some drones here. Deny that spore and backs up and live. Loses 4 Marines for this. That was a quality trade. Really quality trade. Yeah, and Richie is finding it, I think, a lot more difficult to go against this turn. 1-1 is about to finish. These two Medivacs full of Marines are still being an annoying threat here. Yes, Combat Shields is finishing up as well. More Medivacs with a couple of tanks as well now. If Ruichi isn't going to be ready for this, he's getting a Hydralisk then, but I don't think he'll have a lot of Hydras by the time this force hits. 2 Medivacs are on the way. 2 tanks siege down here are going to be really powerful and prevent Ruichi from actually surrounding these Marines. Banelings might be a little difficult to deal with. They don't have speed just yet. It's only halfway done. No focus fire on the Banelings though. A lot of them get to where they wanted to go. It clears out the tanks at least, so that puts a damper on this push. But still has enough Marines here, you know, with 1-1 steam and combat shield. Marines are really powerful. One Banning going just away though. Hatchery just about manages to survive. Space Marine left some units behind to try and sacrifice them and focus the hatchery, but that wasn't enough. And yeah, looks like Ruchi holds this. It wasn't a very elegant hold, but it holds. Elegance is worth nothing if you don't hold. Okay. Space Marine is going to try this again with less tank this time and less Marines. This is already being surrounded. Good reaction by Ruchi. This time Banelings do have speed, and Space Marine has to back up and leave. Now, Ruchi managed to set up a fourth base while all of this was going on. Space Marine just now getting his third. Yeah, it's gonna be, I think, rough for Space Marine to actually break this completely. It's Ruchi using some transfuses to keep this hatchery more healthily, you know, shielded. This is gonna be a bending waddle by, roll by. Okay, these two medivacs, they shouldn't be able to do too much damage. I mean, if Ruchi does respond in time, they might get some walkers and the queen here, but I don't think they'll have enough of a time to actually break that hatchery. These banelings get scouted. Oh, they actually found a way in. They found a way in and they're in the middle line. Oh, these are 10 workers that should not be dead. He's actually going to try and drop the main. It's already surrounded. This force is going to get wiped out or pushed away. Yeah, that's... I mean, Space Marine is still ahead in workers. No, sorry, it's behind in workers. What am I doing? I was looking at the army. He's way behind in workers. He's also stuck on 3 bases. Not really getting a fourth just yet. Ruchi is pretty much ready to get to a 5th already. And these harassments are not enough to break it. He's getting Burrow. He's getting lurkers. Getting an infestation page. He'll be able to take up even more up the Zerg tech tree. Tech paths. He has a nice amount of Hydralisks, but still a kind of small number of them. I'm guessing he's going to turn all of them into lurkers. That's his goal here. No, Space Marine, again, this is just tanks and Marines. They're scaled up really well with good upgrades. It's 2-2 for the bio and +1 attack for the mech. It's also backed up by a couple of Liberators, which are going to be helpful, but again, these lurkers, they're going to prevent Space Marine from just rolling into this location. A flank is going to be set up by Ruchi, which you've already seen. He knows how to work pretty well, even though this is a rough position to move into. Space Marines. Ooh, that's nice. One Baneling cleaning that up. Okay, the flank is getting ready. Space Marine sniffs it out and sends some Steam Marines over there, but that's not enough. Hydralis almost enough to clean it out, but 2 tanks still survive, and Space Marine manages to hold this aggressive position, which is just making 50 more Zerglings or so. Space Marines bringing reinforcements. It's kind of difficult to tell which one is going to come out on top. I mean, Richie definitely has the economy to just keep on throwing units at this. And as long as he's not taking damage, it's going to work.
Game paused.
Alright. You have a pause request from Space Marine. He's getting a lot of lag. Right. Group.
Game resumed.
Okay. Ruchi is sending some forces through the back to try and break Space Marine's bases. Space Marine manages to snipe this hatchery. And this is starting to put a lot of pressure on Ruchi, because like I said, as long as he doesn't take any damage, he can trade for a long time on his much better economy, but he's now starting to take damage. The one thing that he has going for him is that Space Marine is losing a lot of workers at home. There's still Zerglings running around the place, and there's another Ranby being set up here. Yeah, and the Terran forces are just being pushed back. And the army supply is definitely in favor of Roichi, who also has the much better economy. And yeah, Space Marine, I think Roichi at this point in the game can just roll over Space Marine, find one of the bases that is least protected and just go in there. And there's still a lot of Marines here. There's only one tank to back this up, which is making Mutalisks, five of them. He's getting Chitinous plating, which is halfway done. Doesn't have a lot of carapace upgrades, and is not getting any more, but Chitinous plating should be enough with +1 carapace. Well, these, admittedly, these are +3 Marines. So we'll have to wait and see how that goes. Especially if Space Marine kites those Ultralisks. That might actually work really well for him. Another wave of Zerglings coming in with Banelings in tow. Supply depot doesn't even go up. Oh, these workers, they're gonna get caught out. No res on the supply depot. Okay. I'm going to veer towards the tank. Still lost 8 more workers, which Space Marine cannot afford to lose these workers. Look at the worker supply. 79 to 30. And again, Ruchi has way more bases. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bases. Space Marine is stuck on 3. Can't really expand. Ruchi he's got too much forces to allow any base to be set up. Now, Space Marine is going to see this coming with the Terran creep spread, but yeah, it's between the Vipers, the Lurkers, and the Trollisks. I don't think there's a lot the Space Marine can do to hold this, especially on this really strained economy that he has. He's going to break the rocks and try to move out. Ruichi starting to get a spread, maybe get a spread. Try to catch this Terran army as it moves out. No, he wants to flank. He's going to flank it. Now there's a sensor tower, so he needs to be very careful because Space Marine can't see this coming. He sense it coming. Vipers coming in from the side with blinding clouds, and the Banelings and the Ultralisks just roll over everything. Space Marine is just losing everything he has here. Still few more Marines left here, but they are already steamed and low on health. The Ultralisks just chew through them. And yeah, this is going to be the end for Space Marine. There we go. GG is called. Whew. That was a tough game. 17 minutes of roughness. It looked very good there for Space Marine for a while, but was never able to capitalize on his on all of his advantages. And Ruchi eventually, with a much better economy, managed to roll over. In the lower bracket, in the meantime, Daunted winning 1-0 against Katuriket, and will go up against Phoenix. Otherwise known as Phoenix, not the other Phoenix. They're bantering in chat right now. Alright, next map will be Catalyst. That is Space Marine's choice. The Catalyst, again, the standardest of all the standard maps. So I suppose we're about to see a standard game. Again. Alright. Everyone's ready. Let's see. Don't forget to drink our water. Keep your hydras well hydrated. All right, everyone. Welcome once more to Catalyst LE. LE, of course, stands for Livid Embitterment. Livid Embitterment. That's when you're really bitter about something and it makes you angry. And in the southeast, our reigning Sea Duckling Open champion, currently up 1 in this best of 3. From Inside Gaming, our pink Zerg, Ruichi. And on the other side of the map, in the northwest, our contender from last week, trying to get his final last revenge on last week's champion. From Beastie Boys, our Orange Terran, it is Space Marine. Alright, and look at that. Look at that on the other side of the map. That's a Proxy 2-Rax. Oh, it's gonna get scouted. Is it? No, it's not seeing it. Oh. Oh. That was so lucky for Space Marine. Oh, this double rock is gonna be devastating if Roichi isn't aware of it. Okay, he's bringing another drone. No, he's looking all over for this proxy. He knows this is coming. Okay, this drone should be able to see it. Yeah, there we go. But by then, the Raxes are going to be finished. The Tech Lab is going to be finished. Is it going to be Marauder? Yeah, Marauder and Marine. Proxy. Not even going to get the SCV here. Space Marine is expanding while this is going on, so this is not an all-in. This is a sum-in. He's already got a bunker being set up with another SCV. He's going to send another SCV to the corner here to hide. He's back up. Ruchi is getting a Spine Crawler, is getting some more Zerglings, he's getting a Queen. He's got 8 Zerglings and getting 4 more. Speed just started, so it'll be a while before that finishes. Concussive Shells are ready. The bunker is up. Oh, Marauder almost gets surrounded. Ah, nice. Snipes out the SCV, so no repairs on the bunker. Spine Crawler is going to get caught unsieged or untethered, unrooted. Unrooted, that's the one. Ooh, this is not enough to defend the bunker, though. Gotta bring more forces here. The bunker is going to go down. There's nothing to repair it. Actually, there was an SCV inside. Okay. So this attack gets pushed back. So far, Ruchi hasn't really taken any significant damage. Only some Zerglings died here. Now, if Space Marine manages to build a larger force, this will be dangerous. I wonder if a Queen of Crypts gets hit by a concussive shell, how slow does it move? Does it crash the game because there's no way that a unit can have negative speed? Maybe it's just going to walk backwards. It's going to start moonwalking. Okay, this is going to get surrounded and cleaned up, and this proxy is not looking good for Space Marine. In fact, it's probably going to get cleaned up as well. There, we're going to lift it and back away. Ruichi is well set up to take this third base. This one is still here. No, there's a wall here. SCV is going to get out. No. Sacrifice the SCV. Close the wall. With repairs, this should hold enough, but it's going to be a while before Space Marine gets any units that shoot. Those two Hellions will be nice. So this is really good for Ruichi. It's preventing a lot of mining time from the SCVs. Repairs do cost money, you know. It's cleaning out Space Marine's bank here. But he has to back off before the Hellions come in. There we go. Manages not to lose anything. And now we can keep Space Marine on this one base for a while. He already has a command center. He had to float it back home to survive this attack. And for which he can just expand as much as he wants. Yeah, it's getting a Roach Warren. He's taking up the Zerg tech paths, getting a lair. And Ruichi will be in a really good position. He's double the workers, 42 to 21. Oh boy. This is going to be such an uphill battle for Space Marine. Now the buildings are going to bust the supply depots, and it's busted. The Hellions are going to get surrounded here. And this is the only defense that Space Marine has. He's got a few Marines other than this. Yeah, it's starting to get more worker kills here. And this should be the end for Space Marine. He will not get his revenge just yet. He still has a chance if he goes to the lower bracket. Still has a chance to advance to the final. What? Oh, that's the Ruichi made that extractor to save the drone. Just stayed there. Offensive proxy extractor. That's something that even me or Micah wouldn't come up with. Okay, now roaches are waddling in across the map. Ooh, he's getting burrow and tunneling claws, but no roach speed. It's gotta be a bit detrimental. I mean, shouldn't really need it because Space Marine just doesn't have all that much army units to defend here. But Steam is about to finish, so you know, still has a chance here. Couple of Ravages would be good, and he's got one. Some bile shots to keep the Marines from getting a good position. Oh, he's actually moving out, and yeah, Ruichi realizes in a tough spot here. He doesn't want to get in a position where these Marines can reign supreme on his forces. Space Marine getting a tank. It's about to come out. That should be able to prevent this attack from finishing the game. Well, it's not here in time though. A lot of these Marines are already dead. Might just be enough. No, one tank. The one tank is enough. Now the roaches are borrowed. Will Space Marine recognize this dark cloud moving in through his base? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. No, he's not saying this. Maybe he does. It doesn't have. He has one. He doesn't have a scan. He's about to have a scan. That's going to be too late. He's out of position. He did not see this. There we go. All of these workers are dead. He's down to 6 workers. Yeah. This is gonna be GG. He's also attacking with Ducklings and Banelings. And there we go. Richie. We got 2-0 against Space Marine. Revenge denied. Right. So Richie will be our first finalist of the night. Today. This is not night. This is daytime. This is the sun outside. What am I talking about?